So, picking up where we left off really about character and conduct and influence. Abraham, God comes to him and says, Isaac, I'll have Isaac. I'll have that bit. The one that you love the most. I'll take that, please, now. Have you ever noticed that we give him in a time of peace what he extracts in a time of war? Oh Lord, I'll give you anything. I'll do anything, go anywhere. It says, right when you're in the middle of it, I'll have that now, please. Did it with me with smoking. Oh Lord, I'll do anything you say. Anything you say, give up smoking. Pardon? Couldn't believe it. But you know what? He enabled me to do it. He said to me every time, this is going over 30 years ago now, well over 30 years. Every time you want a cigarette, pray in tongues, he said. And I did. I've never had another cigarette from that day to this. I'm not saying that I didn't fancy the smell of it for the first however long. And when someone would offer me a cigarette, the hand would try to go out there and take one. But I resisted. The temptation, that is, to do it. So when you embark on this kingdom trail, this kingdom living and lifestyle, it's likely to come to you and say, I'll have that. There's a story, isn't there, of this guy who loves to go home and look at his tropical fish in his fish tank, and he sits there and he looks at these fish and they're so lovely swimming around there. And it's his relaxation every evening, and this voice suddenly says to him, I'll have the fish and the tank. Get thee behind me, Satan. This goes on for several days. I'll have the fish and the tank. Until eventually he realises it's God saying, I'll have that, please. So he thinks, I'll give those fish away. No, you won't. You'll flush them down the toilet. My favourite fish down the toilet. So he brings himself to do this thing, and down they all go, down the loo, flushed away, gone. All gone. Then he's left with the tank. Be a pity to part with that, you know. There's that lovely tank and it's all fixed up for a tropical tank. So he's just about to put this tank on the top of the wardrobe, and the voice says, what are you doing with that? You guessed it, the tank and all. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that he'll likely come to you and say, I'll have that now. Oh Lord, I'll do anything you say. I love you so much. I'm having a warm fuzzy. I'm in the middle of it and I'm giving you the earth. I'll have that now. In that cold light of day, he'll come and he'll take that thing. But not because he's mean, but because it's occupying a place in your heart that he should occupy. It's called idolatry. Oh, who said that? Wash my mouth out with salt. Idolatry. Your motorbike can be idolatry. That car that you've got in the garage that you so carefully polish every Sunday morning, that's idolatry. It's taking up a place in your heart. We can have these things, but we mustn't own them. It's called stewarding, not owning. He calls us stewards, you know. We're stewards of our children. We're stewards of our money. We're stewards of our time. We're stewards of our loved ones. We don't own them. And if we go into ownership, he will make sure that the law of re-relating comes into effect. That's one of the laws of the kingdom, you know. We learn to re-relate, which really means he has to prise our sticky fingers off of it until we steward it rather than owning it. So if there are things in your life that you know you can write the label owner on, you need to quickly revise how you see it, because otherwise he might come and say, I'll have that. You see, when he tested Abraham with Isaac, Abraham had already decided in his heart that if anything ever happened to Isaac, God was able to raise him up. tells us in Hebrews. And he knew that the nation was going to come through that boy. That the nation of Israel was going to come through Isaac. He was a child of promise. But he didn't own Isaac, even though he had so desperately wanted him. He didn't own him. He stewarded, and he was willing to put the knife to it. Are you willing to put the knife to the thing that you hold closest? That will really focus you a bit if you really think about that. Am I willing to raise the knife? I can't tell you how many times I was willing to raise the knife to this little organisation of Oasis that I sort of head up. Until he finally said to me, this is your idea, not mine, stop trying to kill it. So you can get it the wrong way round, you see, too. Everything comes from him, comes down from him, and he initiates and we respond. And if we get that out of sync as well, we're in trouble, but perhaps we'll talk about that another time. God bless you. I do enjoy these fireside chats. I hope you do. God bless you. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you'd like to keep up to date with my videos, hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on. But there is something else. If there's anything that you really want me to talk about, or a topic that you're particularly interested in and want more enlightenment on, would you use the comments section down below this message and let me know, because I do read everything that you ask and every comment that you make. God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in.